When most people think about RV travel, their minds jump to the big-name spots. Yellowstone, Yosemite, the Grand Canyon. These are incredible destinations, no doubt, but they come with crowds, long reservation lists, and the feeling that you're just another traveler following a well-worn path. The truth is, the soul of RV life isn't always found in the places everyone knows. It's often discovered in the hidden corners of America, where beauty hasn't been trampled by popularity, where you can park your rig and feel like you've stumbled into a secret. This is the gift of RV travel. The freedom to find what others overlook, to breathe in landscapes that still feel untouched, and to wake up somewhere that doesn't appear on every postcard. Imagine pulling into a quiet lakeside campsite in Montana, where the water reflects the mountains like glass and the only sound is the wind brushing through the pines. No traffic, no crowds, no flashing cameras. Just stillness, beauty, and space that feels entirely your own. This is Holland Lake, tucked away in the Flathead National Forest. Most people drive right past on their way to Glacier National Park. But if you stop here, you'll find serenity that rivals the most famous landscapes. The campsites are rustic, but that's what makes them magical. You don't come here for hookups, you come here for peace. You come here for mornings where the mist rises off the water and nights where the stars look close enough to touch. Head further south and you'll find another hidden gem in Utah that's often overshadowed by Zion and Bryce Canyon. It's called Kodachrome Basin State Park, and once you see it, you'll understand the name. The sandstone spires glow with colors that change with the light. Deep reds at sunrise, glowing gold at sunset. The park has fewer visitors than its famous neighbors, which means you get to experience the desert in a way that feels intimate. The RV sites are spacious. The trails lead you into landscapes that look like something out of a painting. And at night, the silence is so complete it almost hums. This is where you remember that the desert is not empty. It's alive, and it speaks to anyone willing to listen. If the desert feels too far removed, perhaps the coast calls to you. But skip the crowded California beaches for something more unexpected. Cape Disappointment State Park in Washington. The name sounds unwelcoming, but the reality couldn't be more different. This is where the Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean, where lighthouses stand guard against endless waves, and where dense forest hugs rugged coastline. The RV campsites sit close enough that you can hear the surf at night, but far enough from the chaos of tourist beaches that you feel like you found your own private piece of coastline. The cliffs, the tide pools, the history. It all adds up to a place that feels both wild and grounded, a reminder that the Pacific Northwest still hides treasures beyond the obvious. For those who crave mountains but want to skip the crowds of Rocky Mountain National Park, head to the San Juan Mountains in southwestern Colorado. There, tucked into alpine valleys and surrounded by jagged peaks, lies the town of Ouray, often called the Switzerland of America. Just outside town, you'll find RV parks that give you direct access to some of the most dramatic scenery in the West. The $1 Million Highway winds through passes that leave your jaw hanging, and trails lead to waterfalls, ghost towns, and hot springs. It's not as famous as Aspen or Vail, but that's the point. Ouray feels authentic. It feels like a place where nature comes first and everything else follows. If you want the Rockies without the lines, this is where you go. Now imagine waking up on an island, surrounded not by mountains or deserts, but by ocean and sky. It may sound impossible in an RV, but not if you take the ferry to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Ocracoke Island is one of those places that feels like a secret passed down from locals. The ferry ride itself feels like an adventure, and once you arrive, you'll find campgrounds where the dunes stretch endlessly, and the waves crash just beyond your door. Here, mornings begin with sunrises that spill gold over the water, and evenings end with the salty air cooling against your skin. It's not luxury, it's simplicity, and that's exactly why it feels like freedom. In the heart of the Midwest, far from the coasts and mountains, lies another treasure most RV travelers overlook: Custer State Park in South Dakota. Most people think of South Dakota only for Mount Rushmore, but Custer is where the real magic happens. Rolling hills, granite spires, winding roads, and herds of bison that roam free. You'll find RV campsites tucked into valleys where deer wander through at dawn, and lakes shimmer under the afternoon sun. The Needles Highway alone is worth the trip. Narrow tunnels and towering rock formations that feel like a natural cathedral. It's proof that hidden beauty exists in the very places we often dismiss as flyover country. If forests call to you more than plains, then you can't miss the Hoh Rainforest in Olympic National Park, Washington. While the park itself isn't exactly unknown, the RV-friendly campsites nearby offer a chance to immerse yourself in a world that feels otherworldly. Moss drapes from trees like curtains. Ferns carpet the ground and streams weave through a landscape so lush it feels alive in every direction. Waking up here is like stepping into another world, one that whispers of patience, growth, and timeless cycles. You won't find luxury hookups here, but you'll find something better. The reminder that we are guests in a world older and wilder than we can imagine. Heading east? Many people skip over the Appalachian Mountains in favor of flashier destinations. But tucked within those ridges lies Grayson Highlands State Park in Virginia. Here the highlands open up to rolling meadows where wild ponies roam freely. Yes, actual wild ponies. Imagine parking your RV and walking a short trail to find a herd grazing against a backdrop of misty blue mountains. The Appalachian Trail winds through this area, and the scenery feels like something from a storybook. Soft, rolling, ancient, and enduring. This is a different kind of beauty than the West's grand peaks. It's quieter, humbler, but no less powerful. Finally, for those who want a true taste of solitude, drive out to Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada. Just an hour from Las Vegas, most travelers never see it because they're distracted by the Strip. But here, the desert explodes with color. Brilliant red rock formations that glow as if they're on fire at sunset. The campsites are tucked between stone walls that make you feel like you're in another world. At night, the stars stretch across the desert sky, unpolluted and endless. Valley of Fire may not be a national park, but that's its charm. It's a reminder that you don't need a famous name to find awe. You just need to wander a little off the beaten path. What ties all these places together is not just beauty, but the sense that you found something rare. RV travel gives you freedom not just to move, but to discover. It invites you to trade the crowded, the obvious, and the expected for something more personal. These hidden gems are scattered across the country like secrets waiting to be uncovered. Some are wild, some are rustic, some are surprising. But each one offers a kind of experience that reminds you why you chose this life in the first place. The best RV campsites in the U.S. aren't always the ones with the longest wait lists or the fanciest reviews. They're the ones that make you stop, breathe, and feel alive. They're the ones that turn strangers into neighbors around a campfire, or give you the kind of silence you didn't know you were missing. They're the ones that leave you with stories to tell. Not about lines of cars at an overlook, but about the night you fell asleep to the sound of the ocean, or the morning a herd of bison blocked your path, or the moment the desert sky set itself ablaze just for you. So if you're planning your next RV trip, don't just chase the names everyone knows. Leave space for the unknown, for the small signs pointing to places you've never heard of, for the quiet roads that curve away from the main highway, because somewhere out there, hidden between the landmarks and the attractions, is a campsite waiting for you. A place where you'll park your RV, step outside, and realize you've found something unforgettable. Not because the world told you to go there, but because you discovered it for yourself. And those are the places that stay with you forever.